Hey guys, it's Tony here at Game Freak Blog again, just bringing you another video. It's Friday the 20th of April, it's almost the weekend, I'm looking forward to it greatly. I've had quite a busy few days. I've been up in Liverpool since Tuesday. I went up to have a look at my university course that I'm potentially going to be going on in September. I went up to the university, hung around in Liverpool, saw what it was all like. It was fantastic, cheap booze, absolutely beautifully friendly people. I had a great time, but of course while I was away I was missing out on some gaming action. Trials Evolution got released. I've downloaded that, but I haven't managed to have a game on it yet. And of course the Ghost Recon Future Soldier beta has been released. I got into this, I didn't get a code, I've still got my copy of Splinter Cell Conviction, so I popped on this morning, downloaded that. It took me absolutely ages to download it. It was about 3/4 of an hour. I finally managed to jump into it. I had a couple of games as a scout, and it took me absolutely ages getting used to the game. Now, essentially, the game, as you probably know if you're a Ghost Recon fan, it's a third-person tactical military shooter, and I stress the words tactical with massive commas, exclamation marks, big borders, capital letters, tactical shooter. I was playing with a few games on the initial, when I was playing as the scout, and some people, they just cannot get Call of Duty out of their head. They're just fucking running around, shooting, missing the objectives completely. This was a game, a conflict match on the map Pipeline, and it's got a kind of rolling, I'm not professing to be any kind of Ghost Recon expert here, so I'm probably going to get lots of this information kind of wrong. But it's got kind of like rolling objectives, kind of similar to what they had in Killzone. So you know, you'll have to kind of go to a data node, such as what was happening there, hack the kind of data node, and then you've got to kind of guard it for about 2.5 minutes, and it keeps kind of like rolling different little objectives like that. You've got to go and capture ammo crates, an ammo drop. As soon as you've got the ammo drop, it's available for your whole team. And I just love these glitches here. Look at this. Military bloody scarecrows. I have a gun sticking out of my arm. And not wanting to miss the party. Oh, me too. Look at this. Sorry, I kind of spawned on the map. There's a couple of times this happened. Now, of course, being a beta, it's only just started. It is quite glitchy. It took me... It must have been 6 attempts to actually get into a game, and lots of the time in the game, I'm unloading clips into people, and I kind of like seem to kill them, but then they'll kill me, and then they'll kind of take about 3 or 4 footsteps away, and then they'll kind of like die. But I didn't think this was actually a bad game, considering I didn't really know anything about the game, how it controlled, how it played. This was the third game that I kind of had in it, and I didn't do bad. I think I went 18 kills to 24 deaths or something. And you know what? I absolutely love the game. I've only had, as I said, it's pretty early to judge just from a few games that I've had so far, but I'm kind of like loving it. I did play the Ghost Recon Warfighter games as well, but I didn't really play that much of them online. I had a few games on the multiplayer, and I did really like the 16-player co-op games that you can have in that. And this, I think, when you're playing on these games, it's like 6v6, I think. I think the game that I was in here, though, was just 4v4. It's, as I said, it's just like a little bit kind of like glitchy at the minute. But that's what you get for being a beta. You've got to be so tactically aware on this game, as you can just see here. You know, I thought I had the area kind of like covered where I was heading to, but that guy just kind of got me from the left-hand side. And the very first tip, that there's me looking around for some more scarecrows, but there aren't any. The very first tip that I can give to anyone is this: is you've got to keep your kind of peripheral vision open at all times, and you've really got to keep an eye on the mini map. This bit here, I thought I had an open kind of run to take down the crate. I saw the green, there was 2 green dots of my own team there. I thought we were kind of open, but they just weren't really paying attention, and so lo and behold, I got capped. But there's lots of kind of like times in the game that I had that's playing here where we'll be kind of sneaking around. You'll see gunfire coming from somewhere, and something will flash up saying that you've been detected, and you don't know where it's really coming from, but just a quick glimpse at your mini map, and you can just see where they are. You can run around to the outside, take the guys down, and flank them. I really did enjoy this game. I can't wait. I think there's another mode coming out on the beta next week. I do believe it goes open next week. And even though, you know, it's Ghost Recon through and through, for some reason it reminds me a lot of Full Spectrum Warrior. It's almost kind of like what and is it just me, or would anyone else out there like to see a modern day next gen sequel to Full Spectrum Warrior? I absolutely love those games on the Xbox. They weren't, you know, massively tactical. They had lots of tactical elements, and it was all about flanking and putting down cover fire and suppression. And I just love those games. And for some reason, this game really reminds me of it. It's got a very similar kind of like graphical style. Now, the classes do play kind of like different. There's the engineer class. There's the kind of like runner, gunner, shooter class that I am playing here. And then there's the scout class. I did have a couple of initial games with the Scout class, which I thought they handled quite well. The Scout has got some kind of like active camo on. So basically, when you're moving around, when you're running around, the camouflage isn't on. But if you kind of like take yourself into cover and remain motionless for, you know, 3 or 4 seconds, it kind of activates your camouflage. You get that kind of like Metal Gear kind of active camo flicker down over yourself, and it for one, it looks fucking awesome, but for two, you know, you can kind of really play the recon role really well. When I was playing on it, a few people did actually just run straight past me, and I managed to cap them. It does take a hell of a lot of time to get used to the controls. As I said, if you're coming into this thinking that you're playing Call of Duty, you're going to die. It's not Call of Duty. That's the good thing about it. It's tactical. You've got to use cover. If you don't use cover, if you're just running around, you're going to die a lot. And if you're not using your cover and you're running around and dying, you might turn around and say, oh, this game's fucking shit. It's absolutely... No, it's not shit. You're playing it wrong. Yeah? It's a hard thing to kind of like say to people, but, you know, how to play games. I do believe, like, you know, play games however you want. I've said this in many videos that I've done before. It's your game. You've played for it. Play the game what suits you. But there's no point in a game like this running around just running and gunning. You've got to use cover. That's what it's there for. And you do get... It seems, anyway, I'm not quite sure about this because I haven't really read that much about the game, but it does seem that you get a kind of like slight damage boost for when you're shooting out of cover, kind of the same as the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer modes. If you're shooting from cover in Mass Effect 3, it gives you a slight damage boost when you're shooting on the weapon, and it seems to work in this as well. Sometimes when I was kind of running around and shooting the people in front of me without being in cover, it would almost like take, you know, a good half to a full clip, whereas the times when I've been in cover and I've shot someone, it's just almost like a one-hit kill. This bit here really frustrated me. I went up here, saw him running around, take a few shots, ran out of ammo, and I did see the prompt there, press X to kind of do a stealth kill, and because I hadn't played it, I wasn't even really looking at that. I was just flopping around trying to get back to my pistol. So I think I'm going to have a few more games of this. I'm probably going to cane it quite a lot, but I'm going to have a few more games just to get used to it, because I'm still running towards a ladder, automatically thinking I'm going to run up the ladder, whereas you've got to hold down X to climb it. You know, it's taking a bit. It takes a bit of time. You've got to almost relearn the military shooter, if you like, because we kind of be spoilt with the Call of Duties, the Battlefields and everything like this. When you play a military shooter, for me, you know, with Homefront and everything, you just tend to play it like a first-person shooter. So you've got to almost kind of like relearn everything that you've learned in the game. I do really enjoy it. I can't wait till I start unlocking some more of the weapons. Some of the people that I was playing with, they must have been playing this 12 hours a day non-stop since, you know, it came out a day ago or whatever, because people were playing with these like infrared fucking scopes. They were spotting me through walls. They had all sorts of bloody armor, different weapons, different grenades and everything like this. It's always the case that, you know, if you come into something like this a day or two late, which I have, you're just going to be hideously overpowered because everyone's been playing it for hours, already started to level up and get all the better weapons and everything. But I really like it. I really, really like it. It almost feels like a breath of fresh air, you know, just because of the yearly installments of Call of Duty. And, you know, as much as I love Battlefield 3, I just haven't really played it for ages. I've just had no real impetus to kind of like play it. I went on it after the patch, had a real good few games on it, and I just kind of like turned it off. I do really, really prefer the kind of like tactical side of games kind of like this. It's why I've been playing so much Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, because you really do need to talk, coordinate with your team. Communication in this game is really, really important as well. You know, if you're telling people to give you cover, to help you out, you can really, really dominate the other team, and it's something that I really, really do like about it. As I see here, this is the prime example of what I said. We were running around this side. I saw that we'd been detected. I had a quick look at the minimap and I saw that there was a red dot up here. So it's just simply turn back, run around, because that guy's facing the other way, look. He's thinking we're coming out down there. Straight away, I'll just kind of like cap him. And like I said, I can't stress this enough. Just keep an eye on your minimap all the time. It's that I was dying quite a lot when I was playing as the Recon, as the scout. And it was just because I wasn't really paying attention to where people were coming from. And in this game, one of the first ones that I had as kind of like the textbook kind of like soldier, just by paying attention to the minimap, my game increased tenfold. I can't wait to test out some of the other modes as well. I'm so looking forward to the 4-player co-op. Some of the videos that I've seen of the 4-player co-op, it looks absolutely fantastic. The way that you've got to kind of like stealth in, you've got to take down a building or some kind of like objective, and then you've essentially just got to hold off there against wave after wave of enemies. It's right up my street. So I mean, what do you think? Have you got into the Ghost Recon beta yet? I mean, I don't know if you've got in through still having a copy of Splinter Cell Conviction, or if you've one of the lucky guys to get a code. I know that it's been a bit buggy and some people haven't managed to get into any games or anything like that. But a few of the people that I chat to on Twitter, they seem to be really enjoying it. As I said, this was the third, maybe fourth game that I had, and I can see myself playing a hell of a lot of it. I'm going to get it day one as soon as it comes out. This month, the month of May is going to be an extremely busy time for games, because there's this coming out. The Witcher's come out as well. As I said, I've got Trials sitting on my hard drive waiting for me to buy it. There's just so many games coming out, and it's just kind of like, but this game, 100% going to get it. So as I said, this big I thought the game had crashed here just because it was a little bit buggy. I thought that it had crashed, but it was just some kind of like EMP grenade going off or whatever. So what do you think? Have you managed to get in? Do you like the game? Has it managed to kind of pry you away from Call of Duty or Battlefield? It is a kind of like different game. As I said, it's a very, very tactical shooter. It plays at a kind of different pace than any of those other games. As I said, to me, it's very reminiscent of a kind of more tactical online version of Full Spectrum Warrior, which is no bad thing in my book. Just before the game ends, there's probably about a minute or two left. Just because I haven't done any in ages, I want to give a few shout-outs out just to some people who have got some fantastic YouTube channels that I love, people that I talk to on Twitter, people that really, really give me support, and you know, I really do appreciate everyone that gives me some support, some feedback. I'll talk to anybody. If you want to come and chat to me on Twitter, if you want to talk to me on YouTube or whatever, I'll talk to anyone about gaming. So first, there's YouTube legends such as Norbury Man, there's AD74, of course Jimmy Snakes, Custer Gannett, thank you so much for keeping in and leaving your comments on my videos. And the good news is as well is mattshotcha is back. mattshotcha is back. He's had a bit of a hiatus. If you don't know who mattshotcha is, shame on you. He does some absolutely awesome videos. Just go and check him out. I'll leave a link down in the video description to his channel. He's back. He's going to be putting up more Homefront videos, which I'm really looking forward to. Thanks as well to people on Twitter such as Dragonese, Bryony, Craig and Nick from the Third Schism forum. You guys are always rule. I'm looking forward to getting some more games on you, hopefully in the Ghost Recon beta. So if you want to join me in a game, if you've got the beta, by all means get in touch with me on Twitter, private message me on YouTube, let me know your gamer tag or whatever. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Tony from Game Freak Blog. My next video is probably going to be a look at Trials, and that'll be up over the weekend at